Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Comix Rant Mini. I'm your host, Arvin Bautista, and I will go through Batman Dylan Dog issue number 1. I actually have issue number 2 as well, but we're going to start with 1. And this is going to be an action-packed episode because I have noticed, action-packed in how I present it, actually, because I have noticed that in my other episodes, I barely open the book until like the 4th minute, and I really don't want that. I want to get right in there and have you guys look at some of the gorgeous art for these comic books that I'm talking about, and I'm just gonna flip through them as I do my little spiel. And this way, I think I can get into the review a whole lot quicker. This book is collaboration between DC Comics and Sergio Bonelli Editore. I have no idea if I said that right. But this publisher, I only came to know Dylan Dog a little later, maybe 14, 15 years ago, in a compilation that they put together. It's like just really beefy book, and the art is great. It's got this very classic style. And so I kind of know he's like this paranormal investigator. And it's kind of cool to see Batman cross over with him. I know we have a lot of Batman, but it's all very well done stuff. So you're going to definitely get my dollars. This Batmobile looks great. It's like the old Bruce Timm design. Bruce Timm and I guess the movie one too, right? The Tim Burton movie. In any case, this is a crossover that reminds me a lot of Batman, Hellboy, Starman. And I don't know, not in the story or even the art, just in the way that these two characters just kind of collide. And there's no mystic gate or anything like that. They just happen to be in the same universe. But I love that. So in the first one, it definitely is Batman, Dylan Dog crossing over. And this book, this first issue is jumbo size. I'm not sure if you can actually tell it, but it's like almost 75 pages for $5. And $5 sounds like a lot of money nowadays, but so is 70 pages worth of book. And there's a reason. The first half or the first quarter is a prologue of sorts. And it starts off with Dylan Dog and Batman. They're kind of setting up them and the two characters in their own respective universes, and they're bad guys, basically. Joker and Dr. Zabaras, I think I said that right. Very cool. And it's also colored by Cavenago, the artist, Gigi Cavenago, and his stuff is fantastic. So if you have seen some of my previous episodes, I love it when there's a lot of graphic design going on with panel flow. And it's all over here, just to lead your eye for the read. And you can see it working here. This is just them talking and having a flashback, really. And, you can see like some of these graphic shapes work. There's a spotlight on these guys. But this angle comes right back here, pushes you to Joker, who's looking over here at Zabaras, at Dr. Zabaras. And there's something cool here that I like. There's a swoosh here that you see. It's almost like an action thing, but it's really the schmutz on the wall. But it's kind of this cool motion where it swooshes in and then he takes off his glove, and then you have this angle leading you back down here. And of course you're going to lead left to right. It's a Western comic. And the action just hits you through. His flashback is like this nice swooping motion when Joker was still in his Red Hood days. And it's cool. It's cool. It just leads the eye. There's a lot of that going on in this book. I could pour through every page and point out to you, but once you know what to look for, it's like definitely there, and it's so fantastic. And I love the way the colors are applied. It's in this very graphic, sharp-edged way, but it's not just, it's got a little bit of grit to it. Actually, it's got a lot of grit to it. And the way that the colors are chosen aren't necessarily realistic. They're more like expressionistic, I guess, right? Like it's a lot of like just marks of like these crazy colors, and it's phenomenal. I love it. Like, I always like that kind of coloring in comics. It doesn't have to be real. It can be moody, and it's Batman and Dylan Dog, so it's perfect. Look at his face. This face is kind of, yep, creepy. But again, great graphic design work you can see here from the pages. And some of the best colors on, of course, are when Cavenago puts it on himself, right? The colors after this are also just as good, but I just love seeing his own stuff on there, and like, this kind of gritty color that's coming through. And, it's got like this very poppy, rhythmic almost, way that the colors are being put down, right? Like, it's got this like staccato kind of like, color choice, just very vibrant. Great stuff. And it looks so good on, and it's, like the way that Cavenago's artwork is, there's a lot of stark blacks, and usually it's kind of hard to color stuff like that. If you don't know what you're doing. And I have seen a few books that are like that. It's just not easy, right? I mean, I have a hard time coloring my own work when I'm putting a lot of blacks in there. But it just looks so good. Like, it's a matter of like, when should you have bright colors and when should you mute it out, and should it be totally muted? You still want to see detail. So this is like the darkest point here, but you can still see a lot of the detail on the shadows here, right? It doesn't just knock it out so you can't even see the drawing anymore. Sound effects are great. Whoosh. And there's that grit. And his Batman looks like it's got like a little Frank Miller in there. He's like this beefier character, right? Catwoman's in here too, and it's great. They kind of run into I love just them running into each other. Catwoman's going out with Dylan Dog, and Dylan Dog totally gets played, carrying all her stuff for shopping. It's Joker out in Europe, and Killer Croc, hanging out. This Croc face is great. Look at that. Just really simple art. Simple, right? Like, I'm using air quotes because there's a lot of stuff going under there, a lot of knowledge, and that's why it works so well. Like, a lot of these images work so well. He doesn't have to draw much, but he can draw a lot if he wanted to. He doesn't have to draw much, and it's enough. It's enough to get you to get a lot of expression. It's very expressive. This Alfred is awesome. And so is Groucho here as Dylan's sidekick, comedy sidekick. And there's like, I don't know what it is, but I just love this figure of Catwoman right here, watching over as Dylan Dog leaves and she follows them. Vroom. Just very classy. It's got this nice, look at that Killer Croc. Craziness. Look at these angles going on. It's just these stark blacks, just very, very aggressive and very, very confident, love it. This face, I mean, what? Good stuff right behind the light. Looks great. And again, color choices are great. Lettering is fantastic. Catwoman's just great. Did I say great? Yes, I think I did. Really good looking art. Well worth $5. I mean, no joke. And then you get some zombie jokers. It's great. And this kind of like look is just so good. I can totally eat this guy's stuff up. And it's great because this Batman really does remind me of a Frank Miller Batman. It's not like a swipe one to one. And then you get a little Mazzucchelli here, maybe. But it's his own thing. But it's the thick Batman. A short, pointy-eared Batman that we all know and love. Anyway, pow, crack, bam, and and it works with the art so well. Just, there's a lot of movement and action, which is great. And you're never lost. This storytelling is really good, and love this stuff. Lots of motion. Great composition. honestly, it looks like it just flows out of his brush. Looks so effortless. By the way, there's gonna be spoilers in this because I want this channel to be like you flipping through the comics on the stands and kind of make a decision on whether you want to buy it or not. Like, it's that kind of thing for me. I always like this kind of tile work on European floors, and you know, it's right there. It adds so much atmosphere and flavor to the book. Rome. I don't know why there's an A in there, but I love it. Rome. Okay, so what I was saying, look at that, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna flip through the second one as well. What I was saying was, I felt like this was like Batman, Hellboy, Starman was, that book was in 2 issues, and I felt that one issue was Batman, Starman, and then the next one was Starman, Hellboy. And I loved it. I loved that it was in that format. So this one's Batman, Dylan Dog, right? Batman, Dylan Dog, they cross over, they fight Batman villains and so on. But then in the second issue, it's interesting because it feels like Dylan Dog gets to spend more time in the DC universe. So there is Batman, but he's more like on the sidelines. He's doing stuff. He's like I think he's trying to solve whatever this poison is that Selina has to fight. So he has to make this formula. So what ends up happening is Dylan Dog has to go find the help of John Constantine. I'm just flipping through this real fast. Issue 1 was the one I wanted to focus on, but I kind of wanted to make this connection on why I think this is like Batman, Hellboy, Starman. Is because for more than like half of the issue, in the second issue, it's a Constantine Dylan Dog team up. And I don't know why I never thought of that. Because I'm dense, that's why. But it makes sense. So now Dylan Dog is firmly within the DC universe as well as his own. And he just hangs out with John Constantine as they go to DC Hell, which is fantastic. And it's not just Constantine. It's Etrigan. Well, it's Jason Blood, right? He's not Etrigan. That's freaking fantastic drawing, by the way, guys, of John Constantine. I'm flipping through this so fast, but he gets to meet up with Etrigan. And Etrigan is awesome. And that's an awesome drawing. Look at this shoulder. Wow. Bicep, tricep. Just like ink is flowing, and looks so easy for Gigi I can't even say it right. Cavenago. It just looks so easy for him, and then the colors are so great. I don't think this is him coloring himself now. It's Giovanna Nero, and it looks great. It looks fantastic. I think she may also color the first issue, but look at this. I mean, look at hell. Ain't that great? Ain't that great? Just a light touch of brushwork, and it's like there's color fill lines and all that kind of stuff. And I would like to see what this looks like in black and white, to be honest, to see just what was envisioned with no color, because the color works so good here. And usually I'm not a fan of like coloring the dark areas of the artwork, right? But it just looks so good. Like, look at that. Right? Looks so good. Hell never looks so good. Look at that Etrigan face. Yes. And this, like, just the body language, the character, right? Just so good. Oh my gosh. So anyway, this is also, look at that guy. This is also $5. It's less pages, but it's like, I think it's like 60 pages. 60 pages, a $5 book for 60 pages. That's pretty darn good. You gotta admit. I think there's one more issue after this. I could be wrong. But now he's gonna get to meet Lucifer. DC Lucifer. What? I mean, that's some crazy stuff. Or at least I think it's DC Lucifer. Great stuff. Batman Dylan Dog. I was so excited because the artist is what definitely drew me to this book. And, you know, it's Batman and it's Dylan Dog. I had fun with both of these characters, but the art is so good, guys. Look at that. We'll flip through it again. These graphic colors, right? Like this shadow right here. This graphic line right on Dylan Dog's face over here. Just blocking in these shapes. And sometimes they're just abstract, but it works so well. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Is that a shadow of a door or something? You know, like all these things are going on, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be explained. It just looks good. And that's why it's there. Alright, that's it enough for comic ranting today. Thank you for joining me. My name is Arvin Bautista, and I will see you guys next time.